Hey everyone, and welcome back to Alternatify. This is the channel where we dive deep into the rabbit hole of what-ifs, exploring alternate histories, speculative futures, and scenarios that just should have happened. Today we're tackling a question that's haunted the gaming community for years. What if Grand Theft Auto V, one of the most successful games ever made, had actually received the story expansions it seemed destined for? We're going to explore the rich, untapped potential lying dormant in Los Santos and Blaine County. Get ready to speculate on character arcs, new missions, and how these hypothetical DLCs could have changed everything, maybe even the wait for GTA 6. Grand Theft Auto V arrived like a cultural earthquake, a masterpiece of open-world design and satirical storytelling. Fans, myself included, immediately started dreaming of story expansions, just like GTA 4 got with The Lost and Damned and The Ballad of Gay Tony. Those GTA Y DLCs weren't just add-ons. They were critically acclaimed narratives that deepened the world. The expectation was high for GTA 5 to follow suit, perhaps even surpass them. But then, something else happened. Grand Theft Auto Online exploded. Its unforeseen monumental financial success became the undeniable focus for Rockstar's resources and development time. The live service model, with its continuous updates and revenue streams, simply overshadowed the traditional single-player expansion model. It was a business decision, a hugely successful one, but for many story-focused fans, it felt like a missed opportunity. A world as detailed and characters as complex as those in GTA 5 seemed ripe for further exploration. The base game left so many narrative threads and character possibilities hanging, potential that was ultimately left untapped in favor of the ever-evolving online world. Let's start with the obvious candidates, the iconic trio themselves, Michael, Franklin, and Trevor. Each of these characters had enough depth and unresolved issues to easily carry their own expansive story DLC. Imagine stepping back into their lives, not just for a quick mission, but for a full-blown narrative arc. These weren't just protagonists, they were complex personalities begging for more screen time and development. Michael's core conflict is the struggle between his desire for a normal, retired life and the inescapable pull of his criminal past. He's a man constantly looking over his shoulder, haunted by the ghosts of his former life. A potential story arc for Michael's DLC could center around a figure from his past resurfacing. Someone thought dead or locked away, perhaps a former associate like Razor or a rival crew from his North Yankton days, comes back seeking revenge or demanding a final score. This could trigger a series of events forcing Michael back into the life he tried so hard to leave. Therapy sessions with Dr. Friedlander could serve as a narrative device, unlocking flashbacks that provide context and drive the plot forward. Missions could involve revisiting old haunts, confronting members of his original crew, or dealing with the fallout of past betrayals. Protecting his family from this new threat would be the central motivation, leading to tense standoffs and difficult choices. The story could culminate in a forced one last job, a high-stakes heist necessary to finally sever ties with his past for good. This arc would explore themes of guilt, paranoia, the consequences of past actions, and the struggle for redemption. Gameplay would blend stealth, tense shootouts, investigation, and classic heist elements, tailored to Michael's style. New locations could include expanded details of North Yankton or Ludendorff via flashbacks, or new safe houses and hideouts tied to his past life. Franklin's journey in the base game is about escaping the cycle of poverty and street crime, but his ambition is clear. A DLC could focus on his focused effort to build his own empire, whether legitimate or criminal, facing challenges from established powers. His relationship with Lamar is central to his story. A DLC could deepen this bond, exploring their shared history, loyalty, and the diverging paths they might take as Franklin ascends. The narrative could involve navigating the treacherous gang politics of South Los Santos, dealing with rivalries and power struggles. Franklin might attempt to establish a legitimate front, like a real estate business or security firm, while still engaging in necessary criminal activities to fund his expansion. He would face opposition from corrupt law enforcement, powerful businessmen, or rival organizations trying to shut him down. This arc would explore themes of ambition, loyalty, the struggle for legitimacy, and navigating systemic barriers. Gameplay could feature street races, large-scale gang warfare, property acquisition and management mechanics, strategic takeovers of rival operations, and high-stakes deals. New locations could include expanded areas of South Los Santos, new business properties Franklin acquires, and rival gang territories. Trevor is the wild card, defined by his unpredictable nature and glimpses of deep-seated trauma. A DLC for Trevor would undoubtedly be a chaotic, darkly comedic journey, potentially delving into his origins or involving an absurd, unlikely alliance. The story could explore his relationships with Ron and Wade in more detail, perhaps involving a major, over-the-top scheme they concoct together. Flashbacks or missions could shed light on his abusive childhood and his complex, disturbing relationship with his mother. An absurd conflict with a new rival gang or organization, one that somehow matches Trevor's unique brand of energy and violence, would be central. This could force him into an uneasy, darkly humorous alliance with a former enemy to take down a common foe. This arc would lean into themes of chaos, unpredictability, trauma, dark humor, and loyalty in Trevor's own twisted way. It could even touch upon the nature of madness itself. Gameplay would feature classic Trevor rampages, unique vehicle missions, bizarre and often disturbing side activities, and potentially new business ventures like expanding Trevor Phillips Industries into even more questionable areas. New locations could include expanded areas of Blaine County, new remote hideouts, or locations tied to his mysterious past. But the potential doesn't stop with the main three. Grand Theft Auto V is filled with incredibly interesting supporting characters who could easily carry their own compelling narratives. Imagine stepping into the shoes of someone else, seeing the world of Los Santos from a different perspective. These characters have their own struggles, ambitions, and stories waiting to be told. Lamar is more than just Franklin's best friend. He's a hustler trying to make it big on his own terms. A DLC focused on Lamar could provide a gritty, street-level narrative centered on his independent criminal ventures and struggles. Missions could showcase his various attempts to make money, often going spectacularly wrong in classic Lamar fashion. We could explore his rivalries with other street gangs in depth, seeing the daily grind and dangers of life in the hood. His relationships beyond Franklin, perhaps with Denise or other characters from the neighborhood, could be explored. This would be a story about survival, ambition, and the harsh realities of street life, offering a different tone than the main game's broader scope. Themes would include friendship, rivalry, the realities of street life, and the constant tension between ambition and reality. Amanda is often seen through Michael's eyes, but she has her own complex life and struggles within the dysfunctional DeSanta family. A DLC focused on Amanda could be a more character-driven narrative about finding her own identity. We could explore her backstory, her motivations for staying with Michael, and her own desires and ambitions. Missions could involve her relationships with Tracy and Jimmy, perhaps helping them navigate their own chaotic lives. She might pursue her own interests or career path, facing unique challenges related to her family's criminal ties. This would be a story about personal growth, independence, and coping with the constant stress and absurdity of being married to a career criminal. Themes would include family dynamics, identity, independence, and the unique challenges faced by those on the periphery of the criminal world. Lester is the brains behind the operations, the planner and strategist. A DLC focused on Lester could offer a unique gameplay loop centered around the planning and execution of complex heists and schemes from his perspective. Missions could involve gathering intel, setting up operations, dealing with informants, and managing the logistics of major scores. We could explore his network of contacts and the unseen side of the criminal underworld, where information is power. He might have to deal with the consequences of his past plans or face rivals in the world of criminal masterminds. This would be a story about intelligence, manipulation, strategy, and the often overlooked preparation that goes into the biggest scores. Themes would include intelligence, manipulation, strategy, and the unseen side of heists and criminal planning. And the possibilities don't end there. Imagine a DLC focused on Jimmy trying to find his place in the world, Tracy pursuing her dreams in the entertainment industry, or even Ron and Wade getting into some truly bizarre misadventures. New characters could also be introduced, expanding the lore. These hypothetical DLCs wouldn't just be standalone stories. They would significantly enrich the entire GTA V narrative. They could provide more context for the main game's events, offer resolutions to loose ends, and deepen our understanding of the characters we spent so much time with. Beyond the story, new missions, locations, properties, and activities introduced in these DLC would make the already massive world of Los Santos and Blaine County feel even more alive and expansive. Imagine new areas opening up, new businesses to acquire, or new types of side activities tied to each character's story. Crucially, a steady stream of high-quality story content would have kept players engaged and invested for years. It would offer fresh experiences beyond the endless loop of GTA Online, catering to the segment of the fanbase hungry for narrative depth. Speculatively, these DLCs could have even influenced the development of GTA 6. They could serve as testing grounds for new gameplay mechanics, technologies, or narrative styles. Characters or plot threads introduced in a DLC could potentially carry over or be referenced in the next main title, creating a more connected universe. Fan reception to specific DLC elements could have provided valuable feedback, guiding Rockstar's decisions for the future. Furthermore, a continued stream of high-quality single-player expansions for a game as massive as GTA 5 might have influenced the wider gaming landscape. It could have encouraged other developers to invest more in post-launch single-player content, pushing back against the live service dominance. So, we're left with this fascinating what if. In our reality, GTA 5's post-launch life was almost entirely dedicated to GTA Online. It's a reality of continuous updates, new cars, businesses, and heists, but largely devoid of the deep character-driven narratives that defined the base game. In the hypothetical reality where story DLCs were released, the gaming community's experience would have been vastly different. The wait for GTA 6 would have been filled with continuous buzz, new theories, discussions, fan art, and speculation based on fresh content. The community would have had years of new stories to dissect, debate, and enjoy. The hype cycle for GTA 6 might have been less about the long silence and more about how the new game would build upon the expanded universe created by the DLCs. It's a reality that many fans wished for, a path not taken that represents a significant fork in the road for one of gaming's biggest franchises. Looking back, the potential for Grand Theft Auto 5 story DLCs was immense. Expansions focusing on Michael, Franklin, Trevor, and even supporting characters like Lamar, Amanda, and Lester could have added incredible depth, expanded the world, and kept players invested for years. Their absence represents a significant missed opportunity for narrative expansion and world building within the single-player universe. While GTA Online's success is undeniable, the stories left untold in Los Santos are a poignant reminder of what could have been. But that's just my take on this alternate history. What about yours? Which character DLC would you have wanted to play the most? Do you have specific story ideas for Michael, Franklin, or Trevor? Let me know in the comments below. Your thoughts and theories are what make these what-if scenarios so much fun to explore. If you enjoyed diving into this alternate reality with me, please hit that like button. Subscribe to Alternatify for more explorations of speculative history, gaming what-ifs, and future scenarios. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Got an idea for another what-if topic? Drop it in the comments. Until next time, keep speculating, keep gaming, and keep wondering about the paths not taken.